Hey, what's going on, guys? It is the Blue and Red Banter podcast with me, your host, Nicholas Christakis, and your boy.
Sebastian Verdesoto.
And today we're going over Thursday's thrillers of matchups. United play Fenerbahce in the Europa League second round, or third round, I think, for you guys. You guys played Twente and then played Porto, so it's the third round, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Chelsea as well Thursday, same day. Different times, but we play Panathinaikos in Greece, so pretty close together. Turkey and Greece, of course, not loving each other. Turkey and Greece. I know that truly well, being a Greco person myself. But tough games, yeah, tough game for you.
I would say Fenerbahce is a tough game. I mean, you're in Turkey, obviously. We know what the atmosphere is like. We've seen it. And then obviously you got Mourinho, ex-United manager,
Yep.
and you got some ex-United players there.
Oh yeah.
And United haven't had the best start to the Europa, just like the Prem, with two ties their past two games, which is not the worst.
It could be worse. It
Could be worse. 2 points is 2 points, but when you play against another amazing team like Twente, what do you expect? And then Porto obviously isn't a small team, but on paper, it's always on paper. United should have the upper hand, but you can't take anything away from Porto or Fenerbahce. Still dangerous, still big games, and we're just gonna have to see how United do.
When you got the Dutch manager who's been known to kill Dutch sides as his time as a manager, especially when he was at Ajax and he dominated that league with Ajax and he couldn't even beat Twente at home.
Yeah,
it left people pretty scared for the
yeah,
season.
I saw beforehand. He said because he used to play for Twente, and he said, "Oh, it's gonna be like heartbreaking to try to crush a team that I love so much."
Is that what he said?
Oh, he said not exactly like that, but he said it's a little like highs and low because he doesn't want to have to destroy or beat a team that he loves. But all the comments, I read the comments, they all said, "Don't even say we're gonna win. Don't even say that. Every game with you, I don't have no hope anymore." And obviously that happened. We tied against Twente. Tie against Porto, that's a little different, but
Well, that was a little
20,
different. You guys went
20, come on. Like, who is that? I didn't know who they were beforehand.
Okay, we're talking about teams you don't know.
I don't know.
But when it comes to our league table, it's like you probably don't even know any team except from maybe this one, Panathinaikos. Like, did you know who they were?
I know them, and that's probably it, actually.
We'll go through both teams' league tables because I feel like it should be important to go over maybe who we're playing and all the weird teams that we don't know what they are.
If we were both good enough for the Champions League, this would be easy to talk about. We would know everybody. But
dude, I never thought in a million years I would see a world where Chelsea Football Club would, one, be as bad as we've been these last few years, and two, have to be playing in the third tier of European soccer against. Well, okay, Panathinaikos have played in the Champions League in recent years, I'm pretty sure. But our next Conference League game is against Noah. Dude, we're talking about the worst of the worst. Oh, wait, I can't say that. They won their first Conference League game. Dude, they're from Armenia. Like, this is like free ball. This should be like, we should be going nuts. We should be throwing back shots at this team. Like, it should be a 6-0 thriller. Like, come on. Like, if we look at these league table, dude, we shouldn't lose. There's 6 games we play in the Conference League versus the 8 you guys will be playing in the league phase. So it's 2 less. And it
should be 6 for 6.
It should be 6 for 6 and like a plus 25 goal difference or something. So we're already below that threshold because we only won by 2 goals against the stupid Belgium team. Ghent, not Genk. Ghent, whatever that means. But
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. No, not a single person.
It's funny to see how I know Chelsea fans were making fun of Tottenham for being in the Conference League either 1 or 2 years ago.
It was the first year.
Look at you now. And that's how many years after the Champions League run?
We won 2021.
So about 3 years ago.
Like,
now look at you.
Okay, I think it's 4 seasons ago, I'm pretty sure.
4 seasons, yeah.
I think it's maybe 3. I don't know. I think it's 4 seasons.
Now you're in the mighty Conference League.
Dude.
You might as well not have played at all.
I honestly really thought in the Servette ties the team were trying to get them to drop out. Because I don't think they want for some reason I think the owner said it they didn't want to be in the competition or something about it.
It's almost like you're ashamed. I mean, if you're playing for a great team like Chelsea, big team, worldwide, and then you're like, oh yeah, but I'm playing in the Conference League. You would expect that from like a smaller team, obviously. So it's like you want to be playing the Champions League, obviously, and I feel like for them, it's kind of like we're just wasting our time a little bit.
I always looked at it as it'll be good for the young kids
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to play young European competition. Like most of the team has never played European competition. At least some of the team. Like this will be surprisingly. This is Caicedo's first time playing European competition because he wasn't involved in the Champions League team that first
Mm-hmm.
year we were there after the Champions League win, and we haven't been in Europe in the last 2 years until now. So finally he'll play there. Enzo played our first season in Champions League. And then there's actually, to be honest, I can't even go over it because there's been so many guys who have gotten dropped and sold and replaced, and much of them are so young that they haven't played. But I think like the two Monaco guys in the back both played Champions League or Europa League. But a lot of the young guys, let's just put it plain and simple, haven't played in a European competition. So it's a good warm up in a way, you could say, for European competitions. That's why I think it's okay, especially how
Mm-hmm.
Maresca has played this season so far in Europe and in the cup competitions versus the Premier League. We have enough players for two separate lineups. In my lineup from Sunday to this game on Thursday is a completely different lineup. So, I think that's a little different when it comes to United's lineup. And
So
we'll get
it's a
into
good problem to have two.
it's a good problem to
It's a
have.
good
But
problem.
I think it's a really good for rotation and injury wise because
Mm-hmm.
if you have the players if you have one player as a replacement for each position, you basically could flip and swap those players every single game or every other match week or something. I think that's basically what it's come down to.
And
And
what
I think
I have a question for you.
yeah,
So, usually I see what ends up happening. Something like City does, and like the Carabao Cup or FA Cup, they'd have
yep.
some younger the subs play. Your like Middletowns or whoever, and then they get them to like the quarterfinals, and then they throw in all their players because then you have like some real competition. If Chelsea, not if they probably will make, they definitely will make it out the first round. If they get to, let's say, the quarterfinals, do you think the managers will still play those young guys who don't play in the Prem against big competition, or do you think they'll switch them around like how
Um,
City would do in the FA Cup?
okay, so how all European registration periods works is that I think in January or like the last day of December they reopen the registration period for certain
Mm-hmm.
players, and of course I think Cole Palmer, Lavia, and somebody else, I think Wesley Fofana, weren't included in the entire Conference League, so like they can't play at all in the Conference League. So when it comes to certain young players, and it's funny that you say this because I do want to bring something else up that has to do with young players who play in the Conference League, and I think as well in the League Cup. But I think what will happen, it depends on who the opponent is, I think. If it's like somebody who we all know, like for example, if it's a team from Belgium, like if it's Circle, you know who Circle Bruges are, right? Or
Yeah,
Club
covers.
Bruges. That's what I'm talking about. If it's Club Bruges, we play in the quarterfinal or something. I'm pretty sure we'll see an upgraded lineup, depending on how the team has played in the Conference League. I think you might see like I don't know if we'll see like someone play Caicedo. I think maybe depending on how late in the season it is, I think like I think Romeo Lavia is going to start next Sunday over Enzo Fernandez. After how he played on Sunday, I think there's a chance we might see Enzo start playing less or more in these European competitions than we see in the Premier League. It's just my personal opinion. I don't think he'll start this game here on Thursday, but I think there's a shot that it could be. It's up in the air. But I
Mm-hmm.
think as the Conference League goes along and the League Cup goes along, and especially we'll see this on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. We play Newcastle twice in a row, and we play them early in the Carabao Cup. So it's like, how much are you going to trust your younger guys in a League Cup game to go out and beat Newcastle? Like, they're not going to take the game easily either. Like, they're going to put some guys who maybe play during the weekend as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that as it gets later in the competition, I think we'll see more starters play. But I think it's going to be an interesting mix of both guys. But also, before I say anything else, there's one thing I wanted to bring up, and it was 18-year-old kid on Chelsea who Josh Achiampong. I don't know who if you know who it is. He's like literally the top or second biggest guy in the academy right now. And they said that he won't play for the team until he re-signs his contract. He won't play U21 and he won't play for the first team until he signs a new contract. So
Shouldn't I mean that makes sense
personally,
though, right?
I thought it made
Is
perfect
does he
sense.
not want to sign a new contract?
No, because the thing is
Want
that
more
Chelsea said
money
they
or
were
go
like
somewhere
stunned
else?
because they said that his new. Well, the thing is, there's been a lot of links with him leading the team this
Hmm.
offseason, to be honest. But the thing is, I when I first saw it, I thought it was good because like you don't like sometimes like it depends with certain players. Like sometimes like if it's your best player, you gotta just be like, okay, we'll give you the money. But when you're a guy who's 18 years old, you can't just be like, okay, here's the money and whatever. They said that he wants a pathway into the first team and he doesn't see it. It's hard when you play center back and right back at Chelsea because there's two really good right backs at the team already. And the center back position is one where they already spent so much money on these recent few years that it's going to be really kind of hard for them to let go of somebody they spend money on. And from what I've seen from this team or this ownership, they haven't wanted to get rid of players they bought very easily. Only really
Hmm.
that first window, we only really saw a few players that they got rid of. But so that means when it comes to this game on Thursday, there's a chance that obviously we won't be seeing that guy get any playing time, which in my opinion kind of sucks. I would have liked to see a youth academy graduate play, but there's a chance that we'll only see one, and that'll be Tyreek George, who probably will be on the bench. But otherwise, that's all the news I've got going into this game. So let's first of all, before we look at check-up lineups, predicted lineups we got, let's take a quick look at the overall. I guess let's say both team or all the fixtures and stuff just for the rest of the season or the rest of
Hmm.
this league phase period. Because I feel like it'll be important just to I guess just go over who we've
Yeah.
got. So I got Warren United first. Of course, we have these two trash results against Twente and Porto because United are top draw
Awful.
team.
All right,
Fenerbahce,
so
like we've already stated, I think it's going to be an interesting result.
I think I think we could come up with a win. I mean, if you saw like the response against Brentford was very positive,
Yep.
and I think that win and how they reacted, they got to be fired up, and I think we come away with a win, not a big win, but 1-0 for us.
You think a 1-0 win in hell? You think that's what it's going to be for
I
Fenerbahce?
think I think it's be 1-0. I know Mourinho sit back, and I think every tackle that they make, they're gonna be going crazy, and United are gonna get frustrated.
Oh my god, I can only
But
imagine.
I think one. I think we'll get one. I don't know by who, but we're gonna get one.
I think you guys will pull out a win eventually too. It's a hard place to play. I really could see you guys come with a draw. Personally, I think you guys are going to win. I gave you guys 2-1. I can't see a world where they don't score. Like just at home, I
Hmm.
can't see a world where they don't score in this
That
game.
makes sense.
But I also think you guys will get your first win in the competition.
And
But
a away win, especially at Fenerbahce, I mean that will put us.
that's a good win. That's a good
That's a
win, and
great
that'll
win.
that'll get that'll give you 2 wins in a row, and then really something to look forward to when you come back on the weekend against. I'm not sure who you guys play as your first game, but I think, dude, that would be
We
a
got
great
West Ham.
confidence booster. West Ham. I
We
mean,
got West
dude,
Ham.
like we said on Sun. I think we talked about it actually on Sunday.
Hmm.
Was it Sun? Yeah, it was Sunday. Dude,
West Ham
they're
stink.
awful. They're
Yeah.
awful. They're god awful, dude. Lopetegui, I think, honestly, personal opinion, he's gonna be the first coach fired. David Moyes should have never gotten fired in the first place. Lopetegui took over. They spent a lot of money this window, and I think personally it's not working out. And I think he'll be the first coach fired. Moving on to the rest of these opponents, it's crazy. You go from Turkey to Greece. PAOK play in Thessaloniki, and they're
Hmm.
also from Greece. So you'll play at home against another Greek team. Then you play Bodo Glimt from Norway. Like,
Who the
dude,
hell are they?
dude,
Who the hell
I'm
are
not
they?
gonna, man. Victoria Plzeň, I think, is a Czech team. Then you finally have a team you may know, Rangers.
I know Rangers.
Finally,
Finally.
we get a team that you do know, and then FCSB. I think they play in Romania, if I'm not mistaken. But how is it possible you get maybe the easiest draw possible in your league phase? Like this, nothing about this draw is hard.
I mean, it's either sheer luck or a little little something to the UEFA commissioners.
Yeah, they had to throw a little bit of ching 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 ching.
Exactly. You know, with
Yeah,
the new
you're
competition, they just had to see United at least get to the knockout round, right?
yeah, they wanted you to do as good as possible. They want
They need the
the
viewers.
they want their Dutch overlord to help them out.
He's
Eric
the
Ten
man.
Hag,
He's like Michael
dude.
Jordan.
We talked about how quick when he's gonna get fired, and right now
I
I don't
mean,
know when that's gonna
so
be.
the next two games, so we got Fenerbahce, like I said, we're coming away with a 1-0 win. I think we can do it. Then we got West Ham,
Don't do
which
prediction yet. Don't do prediction
they
yet. Don't do
stink,
prediction yet.
but no prediction yet. But I'm saying if we get like 2, 3, maybe 4 wins in a row, I mean,
I don't know who your
then
games are after that
no, me
outside of the
neither,
Europa
me
League,
neither.
but
But
you guys play
but 3 wins in a
November
row. I mean,
7th.
that's
I don't know when that game would be for the next Europa League game, but I think that'd be 2 weeks after, right, for the next Europa League game. So yeah,
yeah,
you guys would have I guess a care about Cup game or something between it, if I had to guess.
that'd
So
be a good role for us.
if you can get 4 wins in a row, I mean, dude, Ten
That's
Hag
good.
might stay in a job for longer than we think.
It
I
might
think
be.
you guys play us in 2 weeks' time or something in the league, so
We'll talk about that when we come around.
we'll get that. We'll talk about that when we get there. And then before, also, I guess, like we said, we'll get into these lineups. I also wanted to get into this quick look at the the Chelsea.
This looks like the starting to a FIFA career mode,
This
and
looks
you
like
and
this
you want
looks
to
like-
just blow a team out 40-0.
you know how they made like they decided to make the Super League. Like this is what happens when you would throw like if like once let's say you get relegated from the Super League into the second league. Like this is what it would look like if Chelsea got relegated.
Top
in the
tier
second league.
competition.
You play against the bottom of the barrel. I say this, and we're gonna get torched on.
Yeah. No, this is
That's just how this stupid shit works.
we're
So,
just foreshadowing right
Panathinaikos,
now.
Adam, we were talking about like one of the only teams we know.
Mhm.
Noah literally have no idea who they are. Armenian team, I know that. Heidenheim is like the only other one I've heard of because they're from Germany, so they're actually like a recognizable league team. And then after that, dude, it's I think a Kazakh team named Astana and Shamrock Rovers.
I have heard of Shamrock Rovers, simply because of the name Shamrock.
I
Rovers.
saw an interesting stat. on
Sounds like an
Friday
MLS
today.
team.
I saw an interesting fact, and it was like the first game that Shamrock Rovers ever had that was broadcasted on TV was when Ronaldo played his debut against them for what's it called, Madrid.
Really?
Isn't that the funniest stat or whatever ever? Like, how does that even exist? How does that even a stat?
You guys are gonna be in the great level of them now. You're gonna be lucky enough to play them. It should be an honor to finish out the first
Yeah, when
round
we
to play
finish out the
Shamrock
conference
Rovers.
league, we have to make sure we let them win because of that alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, getting into this overall game here against United, Fenerbahce currently in 4th place. They have a game in hand of the rest of the league, along with Besiktas, who are above them, also with 8 games. They've played total. It's 9, I think, is the most. Yep, the most that's been played is 9 in the Turkish Super League. Fenerbahce, okay start. I mean, it's when you're amongst the top. I think there's like really 4 or 5 good teams in Turkey, but when you're amongst that, it's a major drop off in Turkey. So it's been easy for Jose to I guess you could say kind of adjust to that league, and I think his style kind of fits how that Turkish league works because it's like a transitional and defensive team. But like I said, when it's that kind of league is really only it's heavy on those top teams. It's pretty easy for your team to perform.
Yeah, I think Galatasaray and it might have been Fenerbahce last season. They had like 15 to 20 points above like the
Above
third
everybody else.
place.
Yeah.
And it was like a 2-point gap between them. It was just every week going back and forth. But that's expected from a team outside a league outside the top 5.
As we stated in this Europa League, I think United are currently, I think, in 21st or something
Yeah.
around there in the Europa League because of the 2 draws.
We're still technically qualified though.
I think
with the extra playoff.
technically, but you'd have to play the knockout
Yeah.
round before
The extra 2 games.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then I think Fenerbahce are currently above you, not by much. But like this early in the competition, like all of these games matter since it's 8 games. But at the same time, like I think you guys will be fine. I think you guys will end up being okay.
We should be, yeah.
I think you guys will end up being okay.
There's no way we finish outside the top 8 in the Europa League too.
Listen,
That would be embarrassing.
listen.
But anything's possible at this point, honestly.
If you guys do not get through with this easy group, not only is Ten Hag getting fired,
Hmm.
but you'll have to deduct another 10 points from Everton. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean Everton, like, how dare they? How dare they?
Honestly, it's all their fault. It's all their freaking.
It's all their fault.
I don't understand how they're even still a team, dude. Like they've gotten at least 3,000 points deducted at this point this season. So, but overall,
It's only fair.
let's get into this lineup. Let's get into this lineup because I can't get too much off topic with Everton, bro. It's so funny that that meme, bro, about that. So run me through this lineup, and then I'll give you my thoughts based off of how I think you guys should have lined up.
Okay, so we have Onana, obviously in back. He's got I think in the Prem, he's got the most clean sheets. Surprisingly,
Is it really?
I think he does. I mean, it's not like we won though. We tied like 4 games, like 0-0.
Maybe, I don't know.
But going to Fenerbahce, tough team. I don't expect them to change the lineup pretty much at all. I got Mazraoui though in the right back position instead of Johnny Evans, simply because he didn't play. I don't think he played last week, and he definitely needs some.
They rested him,
and he definitely needs minutes, and I think he'll do good.
I think Mazraoui's been good so far.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Fenerbahce would be a good test for him. Ugarte, he only played I think the last couple minutes.
I think he played at Porto, and that was his first game or something. Or maybe I'm chatting shit. But
I'm talking about Brentford, against Brentford.
Oh, I don't know actually if he played it.
I think he played 2 minutes maybe. It was small.
He didn't play much at all.
But
I expected him to start more.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's not starting the Prem, then you definitely got to play him in the Europa. So I'll give him his start with Casemiro. Casemiro did good. He played pretty decently.
Last game, I think.
And then the top 4, I mean, don't change it at all. I mean, you got Garnacho with the goal, so you got to keep him on a roll. Rashford with an amazing assist.
Yep.
We'll keep him there. And then Højlund, I mean, he scored in the past 2 games. You gotta keep the momentum going. And actually, now I'm looking at it. Bruno Fernandes, does he have a red card? Did he get a red card for Porto?
He did
He does.
get a red card in that Porto game.
He
So
did.
Somebody else will have to take that spot. I completely forgot about
That's right.
At it. So either
I don't know if that was a direct red. If so, but
think
I know he's got a red.
It's still a suspension. It's still a suspension.
Well, I know the direct red, at least in the Prem, is 3 games.
I think it was a yellow and 2 yellows
yellow.
got him sent off. I'm almost certain. So
But
you'd have to
that being
replace
said-
somebody there. So it could be someone like Eriksson.
I would probably have Ericsson. I don't know of any other.
You can look at your team subs here, I guess. Oh, wait. I think I know who the replacement is. It's obviously Mason Mount in the attacking midfield role. So.
Is Mason Mount even healthy?
Dude, I don't even know if he's healthy.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, scratch that. It's Anthony. It's Anthony.
Oh, I guess we're gonna play as a winger as our cam.
Yeah, I think what'll end up happening is you'll put Rashford actually through the attack. No, let's just stop chatting for a second. It's gonna be not.
It's probably gonna be Eriksson.
Guys. It's probably gonna be Eriksson.
Yeah.
He's played more of a defensive role, but I think he played an attacking mid role when he was at Tottenham, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So,
the only caveat I have with him is if he's gonna be, have some nice flicks and dinks like Bruno has. Bruno's a little more,
It'll be interesting to see, but
a little more creative than Eriksson.
I think that you don't really have many other options. To be honest. So,
yeah, I mean Bruno is like the heart of our attack, so.
Well, honestly, I think you're gonna have to give Anthony a look though in this game because of what he said on the weekend. He called.
What did he say?
I think he said
you
along
said
the lines of
I'll nutmeg drug dealers and
and
cartel guys.
And then I was talking. I meg my family members. Like, what is this guy talking about? Who does he think he is? He thinks
I remember a couple years ago I nutmegged my brother, so I should probably get a start for United
honestly,
too.
I remember when I played in high school, we lost 7-1, and I remember I would tell those guys I megged them once. So that means that we won actually. Like what does this guy think he's doing?
I don't know.
What does this guy think he's doing?
He's a walking joke. He like you said, the jokes write themselves. They write
We
themselves.
talked about this with this guy. How does he think? He thinks he's like the Messi. He thinks he's Ronaldo. Like he thinks he's literally the greatest player that's ever existed.
I think you can see the disparity between like Rashford. Rashford doesn't play good. He gets a little post. He says, "I've been going through a lot, but don't worry. I'm gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep working. The goals are gonna come. I'm ready. I'm working." And then Anthony, he doesn't score for like 7 months, and he's like, he says, "Oh, but I love nutmegging drug dealers back home."
I'm
So
a dribble god.
yeah,
A dribble god.
I'm the best. I didn't have to think about it. So I mean that's just maturity, right? Rashford's a professional right now, and Anthony is well, he's Anthony. He's in his own category.
Dude, yeah, that's the best way to describe it. It's Anthony. It's
He's
Anthony.
Anthony.
Bro's better off.
He's like a Balotelli. He's like Balotelli.
At this point, I think he'd be better off just playing like some guy from Armenia at your attacking mid spot. And then Anthony, bro. Anthony.
Maybe,
Not much to describe that guy.
maybe we'll find someone from the United Women's team. That spot. If I knew any of them.
I think they could do a better job than Anthony can. So
Might be. But yeah, that's the attacking.
you had
know.
it was 1-0 was your prediction for this game, right?
I'm saying 1-0.
I went 2-1. Like I said, I don't think there's a way in hell they don't score.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just think that playing in Turkey is already as hard as it is. So I think they label it as one of the loudest arenas. Like usually they have like top 5. Like they usually have like 2 of the loudest arenas usually per year or something when they rate them. So I cannot see a way that they don't get.
They probably won't even sleep in the city. They'll probably sleep like 2 cities over because they'll be throwing up flares and fireworks all night.
I think actually remember a few years back when you guys played the other team from Istanbul and lost, Başakşehir. You guys played them a few years back and lost, so they weren't even amongst the top 5 best teams in Turkey, and you guys lost to them, I think, in the same competition in the Europa League. So
okay, we get it. We get it. We stink.
You guys just suck. You guys are
We suck.
absolutely joke banter club.
I mean,
But moving on to the other banter club now.
Perhaps the bigger one.
That's a rough stretch. That's rough. You can't say that. We play actual good competition, so.
Like Noah.
Yeah. Playing Noah this year will prove everything to us. No, we've played better teams. We played better against better opponents. Remember last time you guys played Liverpool, you guys lost 3-0 this season. So just remember that.
Okay. All right. Only $1 billion later. On 2 guys.
We want to look at the net spend. I don't think yours is much better.
No, it's I say that like all the time, but clearly money can buy good teams because like City also spends money and we spend money. We just spend on the wrong places.
We're gonna have to do a review over the players that have been bought by both teams over the last like 3.5, 4 years.
That could be like 2 hours long.
We don't have to do a giant review of it.
Well, but it could be.
I feel it could be 2 hours long, especially as you know Chelsea have bought like 50 players in the last 4 years. So,
and United have about like 10 guys for about like 100 million
start
each.
It from the beginning of the Clear Lake Capital era in Chelsea, like when they took over. I think we should look at that. Of course, they didn't have a first window because we were transfer banned. So
we'll get to that when we get to it.
So overall, this is the Chelsea lineup. I said it earlier. We're going to have 11 switches all across the board because, 1, we have the player space for it. 2, I think it's also based off of how we've played every other Conference League or League Cup game. And it's basically been the exact same lineup. And I don't think it will change much again. The only positions I think in the team I would change are right back at Gusto because he played at the weekend, and it could be a center back playing right back like Disasi playing there or something. But outside of that, I wouldn't change any other position. Jorgensen in net, I know he got injured over international break. He got something I think concussion protocol wise, but I think he's okay. Center back, the 2 French disaster duo. Badiashile played pretty well against the mighty Liverpool on Sunday when he got subbed on. Surprisingly, I've never said that statement since probably 3 years ago when he first signed for Chelsea, because I've called him Badia Shite since then. But Axel Disaster has been much better since as well, I guess. But I still don't have much. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not much protection at the back. I haven't been very happy looking at these guys in the last few weeks or few months, I guess I should say, when they play. So I'm hoping they'll be stable there. I wonder if they'll be the Greek crowd will definitely banter them, dude. They're gonna
The,
be getting torched, dude.
their 15 fans are gonna show up and just
Panathinaikos have one of the bigger stadiums, dude, in Greece. You have no idea how much they have. Like one of the biggest atmospheres in Greece, man.
it's
Don't
Greece.
knacker the Greek and Turkish fans, bro.
It's Greek.
All right, buddy. Don't talk about my people like that.
How much are the tickets going for? Like $10?
I don't know because their economy's so bad. I wonder if they'll be able to afford even a ticket for this game.
Maybe.
All right, enough banter. We're gonna lose now because I'm saying all this shit.
I'm gonna have to edit it and then go back to how much crap we were talking, and then that'll be the new reels.
Yeah, add a laughing
Yeah.
stock post or something like
Little laughing dog.
yeah, something in the background that shows the score of the game or something at the end of this. So Vega plays left back because he barely played over the weekend. I think he came in and played. Actually, he played I think almost 40 minutes on Sunday, and he was okay. But just getting him warmed up in these games, I think, is good, and he's been very, very solid. He scored in that last Conference League game, so I think he deserves to. I think he deserves to play again. Gusto, I think, will play at right back again. I think that obviously he played left back over the weekend, but I think he'll play his native right back. I don't know. It depends on how he wants to set up the team. Because, like we've said, he plays the 3-2 or the 4-2 or the what is it? The 3-2-4-1 structure where one of the left backs or right backs inverts into the midfield. But if Vega does it, he'll stay at center back and Gusto will invert. But I guess we'll find out. Casadei and Shrewsbury Hall. You don't even know who Cesare Casadei is, do you?
No, there's no need to.
Yeah, so Cesare Casadei is just like one of our 17,000 players that like gets barely any playing time. So Casadei just basically sits is like I guess he's the fourth midfielder because I would much rather have had the guy who's at Strasbourg, our theater team, Andre Santos. But Casadei's been pretty good in the European League competitions. And Shrewsbury Hall had a really good game against Ghent, and I don't think we'll see Enzo or if Enzo does play, it'll be in the second half, but he won't play Caicedo. Caicedo won't play in this game.
Yeah, no. He's worth too much to give him.
He's at this point he's not going to play in these small games. If he does play, it'll play in the Conference League final. That's probably all he'll play in. But yeah, this midfield pairing played really well in that last Conference League game, so I'm sure we'll see it again. João Felix didn't play, I don't think, the last two games in the Prem. If I'm not mistaken, he didn't play much in that. He actually didn't play at
particular
all on
reason?
Sunday.
Is he injured or they just didn't play him?
No, he just didn't look his way in the last game, and personally, I don't know why.
I like Felix.
I think he
was
would have
good.
done really well in that last game against Liverpool. For some reason, I think we were missing his type of his flair, I guess is the right word to use. Because like I think he could have been a really good sub for maybe take off Madueke in that one, put Palmer on the right, put João through the middle. I think that he could have fit well.
Maybe not put an
I was a little upset
Enzo.
that he didn't even get a chance. Yeah, he put up what did you say? He put on Enzo.
He should put in him Felix instead of Enzo.
Nah, two different positions. One plays way deeper. João can't play more of a central role. He plays more of as a number 10 than he can anything else in a deep lying striker. I think that in this game, João's been playing mostly the Carabao Cup and the Conference League. It's been unfortunate he's like plays the same role as Palmer, so like he'll never get a start really when it comes to the Prem. But he's really got to show out in these Conference League games because that's like the only way he'll get these starting minutes. Especially since Palmer isn't even involved in the Conference League, so Felix is definitely going to be the starting.
He's got to do good, yeah.
Yeah. So,
if he wants to make any run for Prem starts.
That's about it. You have to show us more. And he didn't even do anything I think he almost got an assist, and then he scored in the Barrow game, but it was a free kick and it hit off the goalie's back, and they called it an own goal. But like I call it a goal.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really got anything else. I think he has one assist as well in the European competitions, but I think he has the one goal he got subbed on in that first game against Wolves in the Prem. But outside of that, I think he's gotten a goal and assist so far, and that's it. But he hasn't done enough for me to justify him playing anything else except Conference League or League Cup. Mudryk, I think honestly, dude, hear me out. Mihailo Mudryk would have benefited from that Liverpool game. I think that they needed him to be on that field. I think his pace and the change of speed. Like Pedro Neto, when he came on, was the difference maker in that
Hmm.
game. So I think that him coming on in that last 45 minutes was perfect. It was a good sub. But I think if we had Mudryk and him on at the same time, dude, it would have been a great. It would have been awesome. I personally think that both of them could have changed the Liverpool game and gave us a different dynamic. But instead, they're both going to start here in the Conference League since both of them got limited minutes in the last one. Of course, Neto played 45 minutes on Sunday, but I think he'll be fit enough to start the full
Yeah,
game
it'll be fine.
on the right hand side. If not, it'll be Tyreek George, the Youth Academy product. But I just think that we'll see, especially Mudryk, who wasn't even on the bench. Like he didn't even make the bench for that game against Liverpool. Like I mean, I guess you have Reece James coming back, so you have to drop somebody for him, and I guess that guy was Mudryk. But I think that Maresca was probably pissed that he didn't keep Mudryk on. He probably, I think that he
It's a missed
maybe had to
opportunity.
I'm not a coach, okay? I'm not a coach, but I think it was, like you said, a missed opportunity. I think he could have used with his pace on the field. And Nkunku has been a cup merchant this season. He's got like 8 goals this season in cup competitions. He had 3 goals in that Barrow game. And then I think he had a goal in the Ghent game. But outside of that, like he scored in the Prem, but like he's been like a merchant. He's played like 15 minutes off the bench. He did the same thing in the Liverpool game, but he didn't do anything in the Liverpool game. But outside of that, he's been only getting bench appearances and only starts in cup games. So
Is that? Do you
Nkunku
think
doesn't.
that's justified for his just cup performances, or you think
I
something like
know.
Liverpool
I
was a little too
personally,
big for him?
I think Jackson fits the system of what Maresca wants to play more.
Hmm.
And personally, I don't think Nkunku's a striker. I think he wants to play. He wants to play more in behind the striker. He doesn't want to be the guy who makes those runs and
Behind the
the
line
runs that
stuff.
Jackson makes. He wants to be the guy who makes the passes for like a striker.
Yeah.
He wants to play more of a Palmer role, but not as much roaming. I think, but that might be absolute chat. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Nkunku is a guy who collects the ball. He's more of a center forward than he is an attacking forward. So, but at the end of the day, it's gotta be the same lineup or this lineup we hear. This is probably the lineup I would like to see. If I had to, like I said, if there's be any change outside of that, it'd be either for Casade, for Enzo to get him more playing time, or it'd be for Gusto at right back. Outside of that, I can't see him making any other change. I don't think that's a bad thing. And like I said, I would have liked to see youth academy players play in this one, but because of the Achiem Pong thing earlier, he won't play. And if another one does play, it'll be a replacement for winger. So Tyreek George, like I said, will probably end up playing in this game. Um, but there's not many other guys that are ready in our youth academy to get more and more minutes. So that's about it for
I
the.
would actually, before we go anywhere else, United. I know their academy team. It's just like dominating every year. And then we just don't see any of them ever
What
get
ends
any
up
minutes
happening with them
in
is they
the
usually
Prem
sell
or
their guys.
something.
They usually sell their guys. Like James Gardner came through your youth system, and now
Hmm.
he like starts as a DM for the mighty Everton. And you also had I'm trying to think of a few names. You don't know if you Dylan Levitt. I'm not sure you know
I
who
think so.
that is,
Maybe.
but he plays center mid as well, and he really didn't become much. But he was a youth academy graduate.
Yeah, I mean, there's just they got. I know for like because I see on like their Instagram, I don't know if it's their 23s or 18s, but they go far every single like they are the one of the best teams in the youth competitions and literally none of them
You
ever
you
make
also
any
got
appearances.
that guy from Arsenal. You guys signed that guy from Arsenal. I don't remember his name, but he's an 18-year-old kid who was trying to look for more playing time or something and went to United for some reason because that was such
What
a
a
smart use
what a
of time.
mistake!
I don't know what
What
a
a mistake!
ridiculous decision that was. Like, way to ruin your youth career. You're 18. You went from Arsenal to fucking Man United. Like, what is
I
that
mean,
stupid decision making?
hey, United has never ever ruined a signing. Never.
Just like have a flashback of every single post like in a row
Yeah.
now of every
I
single
mean,
player they ruined.
we managed to ruin Ronaldo in the season. Like he's playing, we managed to ruin him in season. Like how's that possible? And
It's one of those things where you look back and you're like, it might have been better if you just stayed. You might not be as bad as you are now if you just stayed. I think he's just.
the
There's
goat,
not much else to it. You guys would have been better. But Ten Hag, man, he ruined you guys.
he knows more than me, clearly.
Yeah, you're not a coach. Like I said, we're not coaches.
Yeah.
We have our thought process.
But I think he probably got rid of him because I know like with when Messi he had to go to PSG because they couldn't negotiate a contract, and then I don't know if Xavi was the coach when he left, or Coleman,
Xavi,
Ronald Coleman,
um,
but one of them.
at Barca?
Regardless, at Barca.
I don't know.
What?
I think Coleman was.
Anyway, it might have been Coleman. It might have been. I don't know. I think the president Laporta. He said one of the managers. Somebody said that it'd be nice to have him back, and Messi also said like, it'd be good to be back, but like, what's the use of having him carry if in 3 years he'll leave and then they'll just be worse again. Yeah. So maybe Ten Hag.
I think
maybe Ten Hag thought the same thing of Ronaldo. I mean, he could carry it for like 2 years. But when he's gone, because he eventually will be, they're just going to be right back to where they were.
Yeah, but I think it would have been better to fizzle him out. Like, allow him to play and then slowly fizzle him out. I think that
they just did it wrong.
They completely did it wrong.
Yeah, no.
Just to force out a guy who's basically one of the greatest United players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous the way they torched that guy.
They do that, and then they have they had guys like Deadwood, just like Johnny Evans. Like, you think someone like him, you think he would be gone. You think he'd be gone like 8 years ago. But he's still.
Dude.
What are you talking about?
They somehow brought him back. He was literally going to retire. Really?
They
called him up. I'm almost certain this is a fact.
Exactly. You think these guys would be like have been gone, and then they just somehow still managed to have a contract. I don't get it. I don't
know how you don't have any other better option except someone like Johnny Evans, but that's besides the point. He probably won't play. If he does play on Thursday, somehow you'd see a world where Johnny Evans plays back-to-back games for Manchester United in the year 2024.
What a world we're living in,
What a statement. What a statement, bro. But
give him the Ballon d'Or now. Give it to him.
Oh my god, bro. The only thing he deserves is like a gold trash can. That's it.
He needs a cookie, bro. His heart rate is going down.
Okay. Too far. All right. Thank you guys so much. Comment, let us know what you guys think about lineups or what you guys predict your lineup will be. That's it for me, your host Nick, and my boy Sebby. We'll see you guys in the next episode. After will be a reaction, probably Friday from the games or Thursday night. We'll have to see what it is, but thank you guys. See ya.